We got to clean up. We got to clean out. We have to cleanse, purify, be renewed, rebirth, regenerated, rejuvenated, revitalized, revivify, to walk in the light of the truth of the ones that we actually are. You'll never be able to do it if you don't do that. Oh, yeah, hey. Oh. You got to deal with some integrity at the cellular level. You weren't designed to be the habitation of all kinds of maggots and worms and parasites and whatnot, eating you alive from the inside out. You weren't here to be medicated and pharmaceuticalized. You understand? You're not here to be anesthetized, inebriated, intoxicated, violated, incarcerated, or any of that. Now rise, 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 rise. Why don't you? What else you got to do? It's amazing to have seen the numbers of Black Americans present in support of and totally engrossed with the changing of the guard of the British Empire at the White House during the inauguration festivities in Washington, D.C. It's amazing how many Black Americans have seemingly forgotten just who is who in the world. It was almost as if God had called his lords and angels together for glorious song and dance, honoring the creator of all. It's amazing how many Black Americans believed that Clinton, Gore, and appointed counsel could have accomplished anything of significance for people who would not do it for themselves. It's amazing how many Black Americans in so very many significant positions throughout this country still wholeheartedly support the corporate deities of death, or otherwise death industries, namely the tobacco, alcohol, sugar, dairy, meat, and chicken industries, whose presence is all prevailing in Black communities on almost every corner, across and or down the street from every church. It's also amazing that major Black American organizations committed to the struggle and to the upliftment of humankind and or humanity have yet to initiate an all-and-out boycott of the death industries, pushing them from every corner by initiating an all-out personal commitment to life through removal of such from their own bodies, children, and homes. It's amazing that Black Americans would rather argue that we all have to die of something someday, as if our own personal habits are no determining factor as to how, when, or where, yet complain about how bad the children are becoming or how shocked and appalled they are at the careless, unthinking, and deliberately wicked actions of so many. It's amazing that Black Americans would rather quote the scriptures of a book given to them by the same man who enslaved them than take to heart the need to cleanse their own bodies from the contaminants of a death culture. It's amazing that Black Americans would rather work on behalf of the Luciferian forces through the laissez-faire forces that aid and facilitate the annihilation of not only races of color, but every order of being and creation through legalized genocide disguised as free enterprise. It's amazing that Black Americans believe that a government based upon electorates, majority rule, consensus, popular opinion, democratic process, or games of agreement could actually exist. It's amazing that Black Americans would rather die comfortably from war, disease, and unadulterated ignorance than live lawfully qualifying for eternity while touting teachings of the ancient saviors, prophets, and saints. It's amazing that Black Americans would continue to affirm Blackness without affirming light, wisdom, intelligence, or truth as the substance of being, or apply themselves directly to the Creator and its will as method of empowerment. In my amazement, I ask you to join me and millions of others in withdrawing emotional, mental, physical, financial, and spiritual support from the death industries as means and method of saving our youth, teaching them through our examples, and allowing us to earn our rights towards real salvation, real life, real love, and real liberty while on earth, an opportunity to qualify for continued existence after our earth residency. There is no government, religious, or educational institution authorized by the law of existence or the Creator's will to legislate or perpetuate death as popular and common activity, collective learning and education, and or path of prosperity. On behalf of all orders of being, youth, and unborn generations, I urge you to consider how amazing it would be if we each took personal responsibility in redirecting our lives, energies, and resources from consuming, producing, and promoting products that offered little or no nutritive substance whatsoever, rob us of existing minerals and vital substances, and offer us artificial this, artificial that, dyes, chemicals, stimulants, hormones, and such, creating an artificial people. The only way to take control of our communities is to take control of our personal habits, desires, thoughts, and actions. To take control by taking our lives, our monies, our resources, and our children out of the influences of those whose products and ways promote death. Boycott the death industries. It's the only way to live. You're in tune to the meeting of the Inner Circle, and this is Adama. That piece was written in 1992, the Clintons' first inauguration.
Gentle, sweet, cool water, wash away my pain and sorrow. Purify my soul. I said, cool water, gentle, sweet, cool water, wash away my pain and sorrow. Purify my soul. Ancient ancestors buried at the bottom of the ocean, I have not forgotten you. Beautiful black mothers who drown their only babies, I have not forgotten you. Strong black fathers who would rather die than live as slaves, I have not forgotten you. Cool water, gentle, sweet, cool water, wash away my pain and sorrow. Purify my soul.
Oh, absolute and supreme presence, we're so grateful and so thankful for every opportunity we have to be reminded that we each are these living, loving, intelligent, potent, and immortal points of being. We're so grateful for every opportunity to remember with each and every breath and every beat of our hearts that we are not man's creation. We are yours. And we thank you that we are consciously carrying to be restored as these points of your own absolute and supreme intelligence to the glory of the whole of us. To get beyond all of the racism, all of the divisiveness, all of the homophobia, all of that puts us in a place where we are disregarding, disrespecting your presence as the all there is, and we have all been gifted with so much of that you are, that everyone is absolutely blessed. And what a blessing it would be if we could all imagine what it would be. That food is growing where the parking lots are. That we don't have people in the streets. That the money that's being used for lotto and all of that is being used to transform the communities, to clear and cleanse and purify people. That those who have their 501c3s and organizations are doing what's in their own best interest so that they are able to truly do what's in the best interest of the whole. That we're having an understanding that we can't do for other ones what we've not done for ourselves. And everyone needs to be restored in the light of the truth of the ones that each is as your own presence. And to be fully present in the now currency of this ocean of consciousness that exists as the totality of all there is, and we are bathed every day with each and every breath and every beat of our heart with the sustenance of your own presence as our own very presence. And so I pray and I ask and I knock that we are answering the knock upon the doors of our own spirits and souls to be able to respond correctly and directly to what is needed in our now moment. To set a new precedent for what life looks like. That we're no longer supporting a death culture. We're pulling the rug from under them. We're not buying, we're not working for these ones. We are setting an objective that we will invest in cultivating the wealth of ourselves, that we know that we are not here to serve death. We know that we're not here to be enslaved to things and to sickness and illness and disease. We know that we are not here to have our body parts removed. We're not here to have our babies cut out from us. We're not here to be in the streets, to be out of alignment with the divinity, the sanctity, and the sacredness of all life. We are here to exalt a full effort in our being. We're here to remember. We're here to stand, to be the evidence of the victory and the triumph of your will, your way, your love, your light, your peace, your poise, your power, your potency, the high ethic and morality that allows us to be returned mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, materially, and financially to the birthright, our birthright, to be in the abundance of the richness and the wealth as your children. See, there are those who walk as royals, and we should be walking as divinity personified. But there's an agenda, and we give thanks that this agenda is no longer prevalent, is no longer active in our lives. We exalt a full effort and we invoke thy will over our lives, to know that we can and we shall emerge upon this planet as a resurrected people, for that is the fullness of the destiny that we can apply ourselves to. We give thanks that we are clearing, cleansing, consecrating, so we're healing. We give thanks for the restoration of divinity and the sanctity of the divine feminine that is in every woman, every man, every order of existence. That we are harmonized with Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and that we all are recommitting to the perpetuation of life, the exaltation of life, the service unto life, to be life-filled, and to be filled overwhelmingly, abundantly with more life force and life currency. Thank you for the magnetization and amplification, the clearing, the consecration that comes through our purification, our conscious intention to be in a place and space where we're no nonsense, no compromise, on behalf of the lineages through whom we've come, on behalf of the lineages that were already present, on behalf of our Aboriginal, our Indigenous, our Native, and all ones, because there are no ones who have not been impacted and affected by imperialism, by the racism, by the classism, by the divisiveness. And so we give thanks that we're no longer divided within ourselves. We're exalting a full effort. We are caring to stand, to rise, to remember that we will never have anything greater than who and what we already are. And that we can ask and have it be given. That there is power in our word, and there is power in our voices. There's power by virtue of our care. We give thanks for all of the traditions, but we know that the traditions are not the necessarily what we should be consistently participating in when they do not serve our greater good. That we're on the precipice of the new day, of the order of the ancients. We give thanks for the waters, for the restoration, for the renewal, for the rebirth, for each and every breath that is animating us. We're giving thanks for those who are sowing the seeds, and those who are planting, those who are gardening, those who are farming, those who are not poisoning the land, those who are regenerating, rejuvenating. We are really reminded that there are so many ones who are answering the call, and we are so blessed to be the ones that we are in this now moment. Because there is no success that the corporate deities of death can have other than to be phased out of existence. And we can see it. Let's imagine it. These people can't make another dime, but those of you who work for them, now you take so much of your paycheck and you invest in cultivating the wealth of yourself. You're releasing and letting go. You're losing the weight. You're losing the waste. Your mind is ticking. You're finding other things that you can do. There are your own inherent gifts, talents, skills, and abilities that are coming forward, and you are in the service of life itself. Sometimes the greatest thing starts very small. And right now, we would think that there are more of those ones than there are of us, but it really is not so. Because when it comes down to it, anybody in their right mind would care to see the perpetuation and the exaltation and the progression of their lineages. But we got to get to that right mind. And in order to get to the right mind, we've got to clean the blood. In order to clean the blood, you've got to incorporate the earth and the herbs and the waters and the fresh fruit and the vegetation. And we got to stop undermining ourselves with the meat, the dairy, the eggs, the chicken, the fish, the breads, the pancakes, the waffles. And what about all of those ones who work for these people? There's a greater work. The restoration, the reorientation, the reconciliation, the redemption, the repentance. There's a greater work for us than just working jobs, serving death to other ones. There's a greater work for us to do than to stand in lines, getting and handing, asking for people to give us something that does not serve us. How can death become multi-trillion-dollar business? But we're participating. Stop participating. And we can do that which is needed. Remembering the gift and the blessing in being. on behalf of the lineages through whom we've come, those whose names we can call and those whose names we'll never know, on behalf of those ones that we didn't allow to come, we weren't ready to bring them, on behalf of those who came and they left too soon, on behalf of the whole of existence itself, we are rising on behalf of that which is light, on behalf of the fulfillment of the law, on behalf of that which is righteous, and on behalf of those who strive, those who tried, those who sacrificed, those who were assassinated and hung and beaten and raped, on behalf of those who couldn't make it, on behalf of the oppressed, suppressed, we will rise. And I'm thankful that you're taking it in and running with it. I'll be forward in just a bit.
Investigate. If you think you have been a victim of housing discrimination, Metro Fair Housing Services may be able to help. The number is 404-524-0000. Fair housing is your right. This has been another public service announcement brought to you by your listener sponsored and supported community radio, 89.3 FM, WRFG.org.
You know, transformation, I'll put it this way, liberation is something that we never should have stopped talking about. When you have chains around your ankles and around your legs and feet and whatnot, and to really understand that within the detention centers, they're still chaining us up by legs and feet. I'm like, why are we consistently practicing something that is obsolete in terms of the disregard, disrespect of the humanity of people? And you have people who look like us, people particularly here in Atlanta. See, you don't get this everywhere, where we have African Americans, Black Americans, Negroids, whatever we want to refer to ourselves as, who are maintaining and sustaining all of the systems. And we have all of these ones. Now, Atlanta is an international community, and ICE is coming forward and trying to kick everybody out, and they think that they can make America great again, but America is the youngest country on the planet. You understand? And so I'm just saying is that those of us who are here to prove that the light is going to triumph in the worst places. You understand? They say, oh, well, this is Babylon. It's the belly of the beast. We are dwelling in the presence of this absolute and supreme intelligence. You understand? The earth herself is as big as a period at the end of a sentence in relationship to the rest of all there is. But if you live your whole life only focused on a speck of the earth and not realize that you are already in eternity, when you look at these big fluffy clouds and these blue skies before the storms come in and know that you are already in heaven, we should not be dying here. This is earth residency. We're here to master ourselves, to master the love. And it's amazing how impatient you all are, that you don't want to understand the nature of how God works. And you see it in progression all the time. And you can have your own personal testimonial of how you've been brought through and you've overcome. But then that which needs to happen, you don't have any faith in consciously seeding for it, asking for it, in terms of your own healing, in terms of your standing free from the violations, from the adulteration, from the shame and the guilt and the blame and all of that, which literally whittles away at your sense of worthiness and deservedness. You are worthy and deserving because the breath of life is in you. But we cannot be a detriment to ourselves and survive it. We cannot be dishonorable and disrespectful and disobedient and think that you should have everything work towards your greater good when you have not understood how to work it. But see, this is the example that these people give us. Oh, you could be lawless. You could just kill things. You could just desecrate, violate, and whatnot and still be prosperous. The prosperity of America is a delusion. And those ones who say that they're rich, the billionaires and whatnot, who have no love, these people are some of the most impoverished people on the planet. Why? Because they literally do not know love. And we're here to know love. So for whatever your spiritual practices are, for whatever it is your rituals are, for whoever it is you're following, if you don't know love and that love is a constant, it's not something that you turn on and off. It is the fulfillment of the law, the victory and the triumph in love. That no matter what it looks like, we continue to exert a full effort in meeting the duties and obligations of who we are as women and men and children of God. The law, the light, because there is no victory greater and no sovereignty other than being in the integrity of your true self. It is through self-realization, vivid self-representation, that is the greatest form of political consciousness. But you cannot exemplify it when your blood is defiled with the rot of pigs and cows and turkeys and chicken and alcohol and tobacco and all of this stuff. And ones come to places and spaces mentally where they fix in their mind that because of my intensity or because of what seems to be my extremity, being extreme, that disqualifies my credibility. You understand? It's like, okay, well, she's all that, she's been all of that, but it's like, no, you have to hear what I'm saying, because who cares to tell you that you're already divinely designed? Who really is reminding you of your duty, obligation, and responsibility to the lineages through whom you've come? We have those who are pouring libations and we going through the rituals. The rituals mean nothing if your body is full of all this garbage. But we've been taught to deal with the rituals, to deal with the scripts, but then our lives are a wreck and a mess, and we've got sickness, illness, disease, and death. The whole point in knowing the scripture, the whole point in being under the church is for the refuge from the sickness, illness, disease, and death, the degradation, the violation, the adulteration, the valley of the shadow of death, and the shadow of the valley of death. That's the whole point of this, is to really come to that place and space where you've opened your heart, your mind, and you've cleared and cleansed and purified, so that all of the crystallized emotions of hatred and jealousy and pain and envy and insecurity and fear and doubt, they are being flushed down the freaking toilet. You understand? We're resubstantiating the body to be 80% highly charged, mineralized water. And water is the medium of intelligence that holds frequency and vibration. So the methodology of our oppression to contaminate, poison, and pollute the bloodstream, which is to defile the spirit, which is to confuse the mind, which is to put a block upon your soul. You can say it, but if you can't walk it, if you're not in the living of it, then you're not in the fullness of what's available to you. So to be liberated at the cellular level means that we can activate and invoke the greatness of our DNA. To be liberated means that the intelligence of our being has been completely freed, so that we function according to its will and its way on behalf of the whole of existence itself upon the planet, on behalf of Mother Earth, but to have a people who go into people's lands and they'll excavate and they'll do all of these things and leave the earth in detriment and disrepair, and the people oppressed and subjugated and dominated and displaced. We are here to raise completely up so that we are not complicit, complacent, and co-conspiring with our own oppression, but that we are also leading in light. And so are coming to a point in place where we are realizing that, yes, we're a special people, but everybody is. Now it's about realizing, actualizing, and truly being vivid in our own self-reflection and self-expression, in the uniqueness, in the creativity and the creator's activity, in the love, in the care, fulfilling duty, obligation, and responsibility and being. And those of us who are in our maturity, we can set the precedent now because we have the opportunity to influence our youth. We have the opportunity to influence the grandchildren. We have the opportunity to create curriculums that ensure the progressive development and unfoldment. You can begin to get our men to take responsibility for teaching the young brothers how to fix the cars and how to do the plumbing and how to do the things that used to be available within the context of the school system, and then they took it out so that we undermine the capacity of our families to be well balanced in the giving and the workings and the productivity of both the divine masculine and divine feminine in the household. So by taking shop out of the schools and mechanics and electronics and all of the things that would have given young men opportunity to develop valuable skills, they just give them a curriculum that makes no sense. And if they can't go to college, then they get to go to the military, or they're out here hustling and they risk being incarcerated, entrapped. And for all of the educated ones that we have that have law degrees, degrees in criminal justice, degrees in political science, degrees in history, degrees in psychology, have become doctors and lawyers, why haven't you all done anything else to shift this frequency of oppression in the system? And let me answer that for you. You haven't done it because you did not free yourselves from the violation of other beings. You thought that your success gave you the opportunity to smoke and drink and get high and, live in gated communities and drive nice cars, and everybody that has these degrees are prospering off the degradation, the disenfranchisement, the depression, the distortion, the sickness and the illness of the people. And just because it's been happening doesn't mean we have to continue to perpetuate it. It's just that now requires us to really be fully committed to honoring the laws of life. And by that, to understand that we cannot feed from violated beings and not bring violation into our experience. That which we do unto others will be done unto us. And what it is we say, what it is we, with our word, say the power of life and death is in the tongue. What are you saying to yourself? And so I'm saying, reclaim the divinity and the truth of your being as living, intelligent, loving, caring, honoring, respecting, appreciative, dynamic, awesome presence of this absolute and supreme intelligence that is God. It's all right to be godly, merciful, forgiving, patient, kind, caring. It's all right to be on the right side of this equation. It's all right to be restored, reconciled, harmonized. It's okay to be completely cleared, cleansed, purified, renewed, rebirthed, regenerated, rejuvenated, revitalized, revivified, edified, consecrated. It's all right. Now watch what happens when millions of us raise completely up. I'm just saying, we change the whole dynamic and frequency of this thing. There is no way that darkness, and I'm not saying darkness in terms of the blackness that gives birth to everything. I'm talking about being out of order with the light of supreme intelligence, being in distortion and dysfunction, being in violation of the law that is love. Those ones, they will not be able to do much. But we cannot participate with our own demise and not suffer. So care to be liberated, care to be in a place and space where you are walking in the light of the truth of the one that you were born to be, and knowing that this time in which we're living is so freaking amazing that you should be in your attitude of gratitude, your heart overflowing with thanksgiving with each and every breath and every beat of your heart. I'm at 404-523-8989. If there are any questions, thoughts, comments. And this is the beauty of talk radio, or the genre in which my program has been for the past 25 years. It's called Night Watch. And Night Watch was intended to bring to the table of conversation issues that were directly related to Africans throughout the diaspora. And my conversation is not just for Africans throughout the diaspora. My conversation is on behalf of all orders of being and all hues of people. All ones. Because in my experience, we are all so freaking amazing. You understand? And I love people. Right? I love you. And if you just begin to see and care to be the best of yourself consistently, the world as we know it, it deserves not to exist anymore the way that it's existing, because it's not sustainable. But when every atom and every cell of our being is infused with our love, when every atom and every cell of our being, having been reconstituted as highly charged mineralized water, when every atom and every cell of our being is infused with our love, our gratitude, our thanksgiving, this is how you open the doors. This is how you make miracles happen. This is how you are able to see the good in everything and everybody and be a perpetuator of it, one who exalts it, one who acknowledges, one who creates from it. Otherwise, so many people would be like, oh, well, what we gonna do? We can't do nothing. I'm like, stop feeding these people. You understand? Now, for all of the ones who got out in the streets and they protesting and whatnot, if they stop buying meat, dairy, eggs, chicken, and fish, stop smoking, stop going to the bars, and all of this, we would see a dramatic shift because the consciousness of the people would shift. It's not just shutting down the bars. It's not just affecting the money. It's about what you will experience in the opening up of your consciousness as a result of no longer anesthetizing, inebriating, intoxicating yourselves. Because your body is going to start cleansing anyway. And that's why so many people, when they change their diet, they lose weight, they're losing waste, but you don't necessarily get the chemicals out. And this is why you see so many ones who are vegan and vegetarian, who do not look well, who are still holding a ton of waste in the body and still dealing with the anger, the madness, the frustration, the fixation, and all of this energy that is not indicative of having mastered oneself. Because the toxins are showing up in the blood and they are influencing all of the negativity. And that's where the integrity has to happen internally. It's not just about doing what you say you're going to do. It's about being in the order of your divine blueprint as divinity personified and consciously caring to walk and stand and live and lift and love and be a part of the progression and the rise of humanity and humankind on behalf of all orders of existence, all of the birds, all the bees, all the things that fly and creep and crawl and all of that. So when you're meditating and you're thinking about things, dwell in your gratitude and your thanksgiving for how blessed you are. It's easy to dwell in unforgiveness. It's easy to always be complaining, to be in a place and space where you have no thanksgiving. And then when that holiday called Thanksgiving come, you sitting back and feeding off of all kinds of garbage in behalf of their thanks-taking. We do not need somebody else to tell us when to celebrate our mothers, our fathers, our women, our children. We should be doing this every day. Every day. Every day. Facilitating a bloodstream that bears no violation of violated beings. Every day. Facilitating a bloodstream that is cleansed, charged, facilitating the oxygenation, the hydration, the mineralization, the alkalization, the cellular repair, rejuvenation, regeneration, elimination, and consciousness expansion daily. Sometimes you ask a question, if money wasn't an issue, what would you do? We would get about 100 acres of land and begin to build round housing and begin to create spaces and places of creativity. So we have places where we have our fabrics, and we have places where we do our sewing and our jewelry and our publishing and our music and our growing our food and all of that. If money wasn't an issue, but we cannot undermine our own life currency and invest in things and then think that you'll live long enough to even enjoy the things, and the things will be here when you're not. And so there are many, many ones who want to do and live in intentional communities. But maybe not with the intention of being the evidence of the queendoms and kingdoms of God. Maybe in the practice of polygamy and, being under the order of counsel of these ones and those ones. And I mean, we've seen it. The hierarchy that exists under patriarchy still. But the sisterhood, we have to raise up. And what we see is that many ones never really properly prepare for their eldership. So 60, 70, 80 years of age, 90, some people are well set. They live in their own house. They can get around and move. But those ones who didn't take care of themselves are beholden to other ones who are still not taking care of them. I've seen so many ones who sacrifice so much for their families, so much for their children, and then their children are not there for them. And then the nursing homes and the rehabilitation centers and the other places are not serving life. And so to be under the auspices of people who really don't know God. They may say they believe in God, but they don't know God. If they knew God, then they would not be serving death to you as food. And so rejoice in the opportunity that you have to be completely whole, body, heart, mind, and soul. Repent from the violations that you yourself have charged upon your own selves. Begin to knock and ask and seek and pray and praise for your clearing, your cleansing, your purification. Commit and recommit, and recommit and recommit, and recommit and recommit. Just because you did it, and you stop doing this and you stop doing that, the longer you go, the deeper the cleansing. The lighter you eat, the deeper the cleansing. The less you eat, the deeper the cleansing. The better you eat, the deeper the cleansing. So you are not absolved of any responsibility for daily cleansing, just like you would brush your teeth and bathe daily. And I just found out not too long ago that everybody don't do that. Well, sister, I don't really bathe every day, and I don't, But I bet when you do, you be really dirty. Oh, you was dirty. Y'all saw all that dirt there? Yeah, that dirt was, that's because the body's cleansing. And so we want you to be in a place where you're rejoicing and delighted to be the one that you are. We all have our own unique talents, skills, and abilities. We all come through greatness. All of our lineages need to be edified, strengthened, well-founded and grounded in the soils of absolute truth, so that we are fully participatory with the progression of us as a people. And I may seem and sound like a voice in the wilderness, but y'all gonna understand that one with the one is still a majority. Because there is no way for the intelligence of existence not to show up, not to stand out, not to have the final way, the final say, the final stand. You understand? There is no way that the intelligence of existence is not going to be the victor and the triumphant one. It already is. You can't outthink it, can't outlove it, can't outlast it, can't outplan it. You might as well harmonize with it because it is still the source of your being. And all of this gets us beyond all of the divisiveness. See, the whole point is a global divisiveness. But now that we have the opportunity to realize the oneness of existence itself, and the earth herself is still in the flotation and rotation of the cosmic ocean of consciousness that has no divisiveness. There are no borders. It's a unified field. And we're all in it. And we're all one with it. We're all brothers and sisters in the light of supreme intelligence. But if you ain't trying to be supremely intelligent and you out here on some stupid stuff and you don't want to do what you're supposed to be doing and you feel like you got the right to be wrong and you got the free will to be enslaved and you want to eat anybody and everybody and all of that, then I bet you soon you're going to be thick as a dog. You're going to be thicker than a dog. You're going to be almost, you're going to be in demise and fall. So, what would you prefer? Because y'all see how sickness and illness and disease, y'all see how this stuff is doing us. Why would you want to go that way? Don't go that way. Show up. Show out. It's our time. I'll be forward in just a bit. I want to love you. I want to love and treat you right. I want to love you every day.
Summer school is officially in session for the Center for Civic Innovation, and there are 3 upcoming events to help Atlantans learn, build, and organize together. On June 26th, the Atlanta Civics Academy Civics 101 session. Whether you're new to civic engagement or a seasoned advocate, this is your crash course in the people, policies, and processes that shape our city. On July 10th is CCI's Education Policy Hangout at Wild Haven Brewery. CCI will host conversations and explore lessons from Brown versus Board of Education, billion-dollar budgets, and school closures. On July 29th is another continuing education series session that will help leaders and organizations strengthen their communication strategy by identifying their audiences and crafting messages that resonate. To learn more about these events, the website is civicatlanta.org/events. This has been another public service announcement from your station for progressive information, WRFG 89.3 FM and WRFG.org.
Amen. Absolutely. Freaking lovely. Hey, baby, how are you? Thank you. Yeah, that piece that I wrote in 1992 called It's Amazing. Yeah. I was amazed, but I was just amazed. I don't know what song that was. Okay. All right. Everything. I met a sister who, a woman, European woman, when I was in, where were we? We were in Sedona. Arizona. Met a sister who used to promote and work with Eddie James.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chase bracket. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, I don't think I've seen it. Okay, I'll look for it. Okay. Okay. Alright. Watch man say he enjoyed that prayer.
Yes. Lovely.
I'm not gonna talk until 2:30.
Thanks everyone for listening.
We're rising to the top. Keep rising. Give it all we got.